Next, there were a lot of questions on buy stops and sell stops as well. And I think buy stops and sell stops, you can use them if you really truly understand your pair. The best pairs to use buy stops and sell stops are when there's a lot of volume in the market. Because what's happening is with buy stops and sell stops, you're expecting price to continue moving. Let's say that you have a support. Let's say you have a support down over here, and you have a candle that's currently moving down, and you're like, okay, well, candle form support, and now I'm expecting the next candle to continue down. So you're going to place a sell stop down over here. A sell stop, what that's going to mean is that you're expecting price to continue through the zone, activate your pending order, and continue moving in that direction. That's why you're using sell stops. The same goes for buy stops. Like if you have a resistance up over here and you have a candle that's moving bullish, and now you have a buy stop up over here, you're expecting the next candle to continue pushing through the buy stop. That's what's happening. You're expecting price to continue moving. That's why you're placing buy stops and sell stops. But it also requires a lot of experience too, because sometimes what happens is that price is going to go up, it's going to activate your buy stop, and then it's going to continue moving down. This is where you're going to say, oh, well, maybe the buy stop did not work, or maybe the sell stop did not work. So when you're coming new to trading, I don't expect anyone to use sell stops and buy stops effectively or to get like really, really good results, because this requires a lot of waiting and watching. Like if you look at pairs like gold or GPJPY, we know that sometimes, these pairs, they will break through a zone and they won't do any retests. It's just the way it is. They won't do any retests, and guys will say, oh, well, how you could have caught this move. The answer is you don't know how to catch this move. The only thing you can do is maybe have like a buy stop, something that happened on, I think on Thursday when GPJPY just went through 133,300. There was no retest. People who had buy stops, they caught that move, and people who just sat and watched, they're like, okay, well, I'm going to watch this happen, and when this happens again, I'm going to be ready. So whenever using buy stops and sell stops, always understand which pair are you using buy stops and sell stops on. The rule of thumb is to always use it on pairs that have a lot of volume and they move really, really quick. Like gold, you have GP CAD, sometimes you have Euro USD, Euro JPY moves a lot. USD JPY has less volume, it doesn't move a lot. Also, when you're looking to see is that, okay, like what time is this going to be a lot of volume too? Like let's say you have news events, sometimes guys say, hey, I'm going to use buy stops and sell stops on news events because there's a lot of volume in news events. So best pairs to use pending stop orders are high volume pairs or news. So this is risky, right? The probability of success using buy stops and sell stops is low. It's not high. Like let's say when you're waiting for candles to close, the probability of success is high. I'm not going to say it's really high, but it's higher than using a sell stop and a buy stop. So whenever you see that a certain thing to play out has less probability to win, then that means you have to watch it over and over. Like you have to spend more time in understanding why it's happening. What does this mean? Can I effectively use them over and over again? So these things are really important to understand. Also, stop orders are most suited when trading with the trend, and it requires some sort of experience and backtesting. Like let's say you're looking at a pair like GPJPY, and we know when GPJPY trends, it trends really, really hard. So for example, if you have a support form and you have candles that, let's say we had candles came down, and then you had candles they went up, and then you had candles start to come down, and if someone says, oh, what, I missed a move up over here, I couldn't take an entry up over here. So I may want to place a sell stop below the low right over here. Because if GPJPY has a lot of volume, then I'm expecting the next candles to continue down with the trend, break support, activate the sell stop, and continue moving bearish, right? Now, one question can be, oh, okay, well, what if I had a sell stop and my sell stop gets activated? What about the stop loss? Where am I placing your stop loss? the best answer, what I can give safely, like a very conservative stop, is going to be above the candle that's breaking the low. Like the candle that's a breakout candle, like the candle that activates your sell stop, you're putting a stop loss above that candle. But like at the same time, you're watching it as it go. What I've experienced is like sometimes, most times when when my sell stops get activated, I'm just watching the price. I'm expecting the price to continue going in profits. I'm not expecting to retrace at all. If price starts retracing, let's say 5 pips, 10 pips, then I'm looking to close the order. Because effectively, I'm sure you guys are making notes. The best way to use buy stops and sell stops and what to expect from those, pending orders is to see that, okay, price should continue moving in that direction. It should not retrace. It should not come back in the zone. It should not hit your stop loss. It should continue moving. If for some reason your order gets activated and price starts to come up, now you have to say that, okay, you know what? Now I have to close up the trade because I wanted price to continue down. It didn't continue down, so it makes no sense to hold the trade. This is a very simple concept. Some people, they get caught up in this. When your sell stops get hit or your buy stops get hit, you don't close the position. You keep it open. You have to let it go. If you don't let it go, you're going to go in a drawdown. You're going to start questioning yourself. It just won't make any sense. I have a question here. GJ trends hard, but there's a certain point in the trend that your confidence to take buys reduces or you trade the trend until the end. Yeah, we're going to go over this. Trade and trend, we're going to go. Any question you have regarding this presentation, the question is going to be answered. If it's not answered, you can ask them at the end of the presentation. So for the sake of simplicity and for convenience of the presentation, please keep your questions. Keep them at bay right now. Right? So sell stop and buy stops, you're using them as trend is moving. Then there's another one called buy limits and sell limits. Those are counter trend orders. I don't use them, so I'm not going to go over them. They are extremely risky. What's basically happening in those orders is that let's say you have a resistance and you have a support, and let's say you have a buy limit down over here. Buy limit basically means that you're expecting price to come down, activate your order, and then continue moving up. That's what a buy limit is. And then if you have a sell limit up over here, sell limit basically means that you're expecting price to come up, activate your sell limit, and then continue moving down. This is risky because you're trying to trade within the range or you're trying to call the top or the bottom, right? Let's say price is moving bullish and you have a sell limit up over here. So you're expecting price to come up, activate the sell limit, and continue moving down. But most time what happens is that price will activate the sell limit, come down, and then it will continue moving up. All right. Someone's trying to see, this is why I don't share these webinars in all the groups. So I think for next time, I'm only going to share them with my groups here. All right. Let's do that. Because we have some children here. Okay. Yeah, right. So when you have sell limits, that's what can happen. Like you're essentially calling a top or you're essentially calling a bottom. So that's why I'm not going to go over sell limits and buy limits. They're reserved for May 17th. There are other groups. Yeah, some smaller groups that are really important. So, if the spread is high, you still use sell stops and buy stops? Yes. Sell stops and buy stops are mostly I'm going to use sell stops and buy stops when there's a lot of volume and when there's some news events too, right? But it takes experience. I don't expect anyone to use buy stops and sell stops right off the gate. Again, I said you have to do live back testing. You have to sit and watch if you can really use sell stops and buy stops. It's really important. Let's go towards the